another episode of Coffee and Careers with me, Gail Angus. I'm joined again with my colleague Anne Duff from the College of Arts. So welcome back, Anne.
Thank you very much.
So today, Anne, we're going to be dealing with quite a difficult topic for a lot of students, and that is dealing with rejection. Now, when you're going through the application process, it is natural that sometimes you may face rejection during that process. Today we're going to talk about some tools and techniques and things that you can consider if you are facing perhaps a rejected application, a rejected interview, any sort of rejection through that application process itself. So Anne, what sort of advice would you give to students who come to you and say, you know, I'm not getting through the application process, what can I actually do?
Yeah, well, the first thing I would suggest is focus on the positives. If, for example, you're facing rejection at interview stage, the positive is you're getting through to interview stage. So you're obviously doing good quality application forms, you're at the standard that they're interested in, they can visualise you, that's why they've invited you for interview. If you are doing applications but you're not getting through to interview stage, well, at least you have decided what you want to do, you are being active, you're getting out there, you're doing stuff. So the first thing I would suggest is no matter what point you're at, just step back from the emotion of it and think about, well, what's the positive here?
Exactly. It's a really kind of good piece of advice, Anne, is to think about that. The next thing that I would go on to is actually to really assess yourself and actually think, well, where am I falling out in that application process? For some people, it will be different stages for different companies. And the reasons that you're sometimes rejected are sometimes from no fault of your own. Perhaps somebody has more experience than you in an area. It can be a really competitive market for some jobs. But actually look at, is there a theme to where you're falling out? So for example, quite a lot of our students will fall out at online tests, and we know as careers advisors that people can improve their scores on online tests the more that they practice those.
Absolutely.
Or if it's interview stages, Anne, you know, looking at, is there certain types of questions that you struggle with? If it is interviews, then actually ask for feedback. If you've got to interview stages, ask the employer for feedback. Quite often they will be able to provide you with some feedback on which part of that interview that you actually fell down on.
Yeah, and it's not just about asking the employer for feedback, ask for feedback from lots of people. So for example, if you are applying for lots of different things, your application forms aren't being successful, bring it into the career service, bring it into a 15-minute quick coaching or bring it to a 20-minute interview, and we can sit down and we will see connections, we will see things. It might be that you're not using the STAR technique properly or consistently throughout your applications. It might be you're just not quite hitting the particular specifications that they're asking for in the job description, but we can spot that. We're trained in this and we can spot that before you even hit send. So definitely use us as a resource to help you identify where you're falling down at, because sometimes that's difficult to do purely through self-reflection.
Definitely. There's someone who writes about careers called John Lee, and he says in his book quite often that it's not only the person who can do the job well who succeeds, it's often the person who knows how to actually get the job that succeeds as well. And I think that's a really important point, that actually the application process is something you can learn. It's something you can improve on, and it's something that you can get better at. So really taking a step back and thinking, right, where am I falling down? If it is the application stage right at the start and your application form is really good, there's nothing wrong with that, then it's maybe looking at the type of job that you're actually applying for and whether you actually have the right skills, experience and qualities actually to apply for that job at this stage. Which actually brings me on to one of my other points as well, is that actually during the application process it can be good to think about your fallback plans. And actually Plan A is great, and hopefully we can help you with that application process to get through to Plan A. But sometimes it can be good to think about your next steps. Actually, if you really want to go for one company and that's not working out so well, then what is the Plan B? What is the Plan C? What are the other options that you're actually going to explore? Sometimes that can lift some pressure off students.
I think so.
To actually think about, actually there's other options, there's other things that I can do, there's other things that I can apply for if I kind of learn.
I absolutely agree. And if I could give one last piece of advice, it's don't get overwhelmed by it, don't get demoralised. We all use this word, don't we? Resilience. It is important to be resilient and, you know, keep your head up through it all. Your time will come. So don't get overwhelmed, don't get demoralised, always look at the positives. And if you need a bit of a pep talk, no better people to come and have a chat with.
Exactly. We are here to help, and we can give you some feedback and review on those applications. So that's some kind of quick tips to think about when you're dealing with rejection in applications as well. Remember, the career service is here to help you, so do come and speak to us if you don't know where you're actually going wrong in that process. So thank you for tuning in today and listening to us. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.